I'm so excited for this chat today. I feel like talking about success in singing is so important because students wonder, oh, well, why is this person so successful? Or, oh, why did they do so well? Or, why can't I do this well in singing? Why can't I be recognized? And I work with hundreds and hundreds of students all over the world, and I can specifically distinguish what makes a student more prone to success than others. And this isn't seen as like a discouraging video. I want this to encourage you to just flip certain things about the way that you're approaching singing and the way that you're approaching trying to be recognized in the vocal world, and seeing it as a positive because you have way more control over your success than you think you do. Some people just think, oh, well, I'm not talented, so this is not for me, and I'm just going to kind of move on after trying for, a couple months of lessons. But that's not really how it works. So that actually gets me into the number one, the first aspect of someone that will become a successful singer is consistency. I think that consistency just helps with every single other aspect of your life, your career, your singing abilities, especially. Your voice is a muscle at the end of the day, and it needs consistent workout, consistent training. It's almost like going to the gym. You need to keep lifting weights, otherwise your muscles are going to get weaker. So it's the same exact thing with singing. There are some people that might be born with stronger muscles, but they still have to exercise it in order to sing the things that they want to be able to sing. So consistency with vocal training is so important, and our voice is ever changing too. One day you might wake up and have a completely different voice. Our voices don't even fully mature until we get to our late 20s. So it's really important that we keep checking in with our voice. We keep training, whether it's one-on-one or in a group setting, or if it's just watching videos and getting that warm-up strength going and really getting your voice into higher ranges and lower ranges and just gently pushing yourself a little bit. So obviously we don't want to strain to the point where we're going to blow out our voice. It's exactly the same as stretching. We don't want to stretch our muscles past the point of where they're just going to break, right? So we need to be consistent. We need to push ourselves a little bit and push our voice in a healthy way, which is why guidance, again, is super important. Again, you can see the links down below. I am currently taking students for my group program, just a little plug. But consistency is going to be so important to your training, not only with just technique, but also with building connections and putting out videos and just getting yourself out there. Like every single thing that you put yourself out on, whether it's social media or whether it's getting yourself out in front of an open mic, that's like just a few more people that are now going to see you, and then that builds on that, and then that, and it keeps building on each other. It's kind of like an exponential graph. Like it'll just keep going up and just skyrocket if you really put the time and energy into putting yourself out there and training consistently. And number two of singers that I think will be successful, this is what they're gonna do. Sorry, that was a little scattered. This is what I think successful singers would do, is they wouldn't be afraid to make weird sounds. So when it comes to vocal training and vocal technique, and I hear this all the time, is these warm-ups are so weird, and like, why are you having me do this? And that's why I always personally try to explain why I'm doing things with students, because some of the warm-ups are kind of bizarre. It's weird. The way to get better at singing is to explore the sounds that your voice is able to make, and to see how bright you're able to take your voice, how dark you're able to take your voice, how much can you connect and smooth out your voice. These are going to be so important, and sometimes it takes making weird noises to get that resonance and get that buzz. There is no other way. It is actually crazy how much buzz and resonance we need. I almost sound like a broken record during lessons whenever I'm teaching students how to do those like big high belts. Is I'm just like brighter, more forward. Like I want it to just be ridiculous at this point. And you have to get comfortable with not caring how it's going to sound, just throwing it away. It's almost like riding a bike for the first time. At some point, you just have to get on the bike and just start riding. Even if you might fall off a couple of times, that's totally okay. That's almost how singing training is going to feel. And it's going to feel a little bit defeating at first in the beginning. But again, if you stick with it and if you're consistent and if you're not afraid to make mistakes, I always say that lessons and group classes are the place to mess up, or recordings in your room, your practice time. Those are places to mess up and places to make weird noises. So I think it's so important to embrace that, and you'll see how much of these vocal concepts will kind of flip and change. The third thing that successful singers do is they take care of their body. They understand that their body is their instrument, their voice is their instrument. So if we're not taking care of it, if we are dehydrating ourselves and not getting enough sleep and having a really, really tense jaw and just overall tension in our body, it's going to be really hard to be successful at singing. Especially when you're seeing singers live on stage, and the ones especially that have these really long careers, they need to be in a certain physical space to be able to let this tension go and to be able to sustain their careers. If they are constantly holding on to tension for, 8 shows a week, it's just not going to be sustainable at all. So we really need to take care of our body, of our instrument. We need to make sure that we are constantly feeling this relaxation in our jaw. It's crazy how many times singers come to me and they start singing and I could hear how beautiful their tone is, but it's just getting locked up in their jaw. And then as soon as I tell them to just unlock their jaw a little bit, it makes the world of difference. So this physical awareness of our bodies and actively de-stressing almost as we're singing can be so beneficial to being successful as a singer and having a long-term career, or being able to pursue this for a lot longer. So you need your body to be on your side. You need to always be aware. I always suggest practicing in front of mirrors, in front of cameras, so that you can see exactly what's going on. I know sometimes it's scary to really get in there and see what's happening, but sometimes we just have these habits that we need to break and we need to get out of. But once you overcome that, then you will see how much easier your singing is, how much easier you are able to show up and make the sounds that your voice teachers want you to make in order to get that belt or that high note that you really want. So I hope that this video encourages you to change the way that you think about successful singers and realize that you have way more in control than you think. So again, if you want to work with me, click the links below, and thanks for watching.